Are you ready to do a whiskey quickie with this Stranahans special Fort Lewis edition? Let's go. Alright, hey everybody, this is Mark from Northwest Bourbon. Thank you for joining me. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get this cracked open so we can get this whiskey poured and start talking about what we see on the bottle. Cork pop. Nice cork pop. I am not going to pour this into the infinity bottle because I do not know about this aging process. So I walked into the Class 6 and they had this huge display of Stranahan's Single Malt Private Cask Series Solera finished in New York bourbon casks. It's 55% APV, 110 proof, and it says JBLM Lewis on the side. If you go across the base to the Air Force McCord side, they have ones that say they are for McCord. But it's a Solera finish, and it does not say single barrel on the bottle. So I'm thinking this might be the same juice that's in both of them because it says the bottle was bottled exclusively for. It does not say it's a single barrel. Now let's back up a little bit and talk about what a Solera is. A Solera system is when they have multiple barrels in a system. I think it started with wine, but now people are doing it with whiskey. So all the barrels are connected, and it's a very unique and distinct way to get an aging process going on through multiple barrels at the same time. It's really cool. The first time I ever saw one in person is when I went to Doc Swinson's and saw what it looked like, and I tried a couple different ones and saw that different barrels do taste different. So it's a really interesting aging process, and this American Single Malt says they did that in New York bourbon casks. So I don't know if that's Kings County bourbon or one of the other many different bourbons coming from New York. But the fact that it says Solera finish and not single barrel makes me think the one that I find on McCord isn't going to be that different than the one I find on Fort Lewis. So I've never seen them do an on-base exclusive, so I'm really excited to check this out and let you know what I think. When you look at the color, it's not super dark, but it's pretty dark for an American single malt. It's not as light as most single malts usually tend to be, but let's go in for the nose. You can pick up that orchard and stone fruit American single malt note right away, but it's got a dark richness to it. So let's get into the palate. Cheers. Wow, that's really good. It's got some rich stone fruits on the palate that transfers from the nose, but it's got some additional caramels and baking spices. Wow, I'm really digging that. I'm gonna go in for a second one. Cheers. The thing I can say about this glass is the overall balance across the palate. It hits the front of your palate with this rich blanket of flavors, and it keeps it going all the way across down to the finish. Not like how you get a Kentucky hug with a nice strong bourbon. This is a softer, sweeter, tucking you in at night and giving you a kiss Kentucky hug. Alright, so what's my recommendation? Right now, these are $49.99 out the door on base. And if you have never had an American single malt that you've liked, give this a try. Because it is darker, it's richer, it has a more balanced flavor profile, and I think it is definitely better than the majority of American single malts that are getting put out right now. Because when it comes to American single malts, you got Copperworks, you got Westward, you got Old Line, and then Stranahans. I don't know who's fighting for that 5th place, but I would put Stranahans in that top 5. And this is a solid bottle. If you really like it, you're probably going to buy another one. If you don't really like it, you're not going to regret buying the one because it's a solid whiskey, especially for $49 out the door. Earn, protect, enjoy. Cheers.